Welcome to the Awesome Disease channel. Today, we're counting down our top 10 grossest diseases. Ranking first is elephantitis. Let's go to doctors Eliott and Erin to find out more.
Subtropical areas such as Southeast Asia and Africa. It is mostly found in third world countries where there is poverty. Elephantiasis is found in these conditions because of the lack of resources unfortunate people have to prevent the disease. They do not have the education to know about the dangers of the disease and would not spend the money on this. The earliest record of elephantiasis was in 1876, when explorers found a statue from ancient Egypt. In that hieroglyphics you can see limbs of pharaohs inflamed.
Elephantiasis spreads through mosquitoes, which is the host. Since mosquitoes are the hosts, they like to lay their eggs in high moisture areas, so that is why the disease is found in subtropical areas. Symptoms of the disease include tissue swelling, tissue hardening, and fluid accumulation. Here are some pictures of the disease. Three thread-like worms. These include Wucheria bancrofi, Brugia malai, and Brugia timor. Pathogen grows within the lymphatic system and circulates in the blood vessels and feeds on body tissues. It then produces millions of microscopic larvae that come from the lymph nodes in the lymphatic system and move throughout the blood system.
Disease disrupts the immune system where it grows. Homeostasis is disrupted by all the worms in the body using all the energy and food of the body. This causes the body not being able to function. Also, the homeostasis of the victim is disrupted by the sheer amount of the three pathogens within the body. The structure of the worm is long and thin, so that the worm can travel throughout the body and blood and be able to get where it wants to easily. The immune system has three lines of defense. The first line of defense is the skin. Another one is the antimicrobial proteins, cilia, stomach acid, and symbiotic bacteria in the intestines. The second line of defense is when the mast cells release histamine and more white blood cells come to the area. And lastly, the third line of defense consists of the cell-mediated response and the humoral response. First, the cell-mediated response happens. The macrophages come in and eat the invader. Then the macrophages display the antigen on its surface, and their helper T cells come and release interleukin. Then the interleukin divides the T and B cells, and the killer T cells come and destroy the invader. Lastly, the macrophages eat the waste.
In humoral response, the B cells make massive quantities of free-floating nuclear antibodies. The antibodies are specifically made for a certain type of antigen. When the antibodies attach themselves to the antigen via protein binding, the invader becomes inactive. When the invader becomes active, it cannot move within the bloodstream and cause any more harm to the body. Waiting for the macrophage to eat it sits in the bloodstream inactive. After an attack, the memory B cells come and remember the antibody needed for a certain antigen. This speeds up the process tremendously, so then it does not have to go through the entire system of the humoral. When worms block the lymphatic system, the body initiates a full immunal response. Since the pathogen has already been inside the body, the first line of defense has been broken, leading to the second line of defense starting at the allergic reaction. The allergic reaction causes the fever, chills, shaking, vomiting, and pain. Nematodes secrete proteins that make the B cells inactive. Once the B cells are inactive, they no longer can create antibodies to fight against the invader. This causes the infection to grow rampantly due to the lack of antibodies trying to stop the invasion. To treat a disease, you have to take a single dose of two different drugs. One is albendazole, and the second one is ivermectin, or diethylcarbamazine.
Currently, 120 million people worldwide have this disease, and over 1.3 billion people in 80 different countries are threatened. Out of the people with elephantiasis, 65% of those people live in Southeast Asia, 30% of those people live in Africa, and the other 5% of people live in other tropical areas. Some preventative measures that can be taken to stop the risk of future outbreak are by insecticide, treated nets, and indoor residual spraying and mosquito control. Africa is so pretty. I mean, look at these trees. Oh no, is that a mosquito? No! Ow, it just bit me. Oh no, what am I gonna do? I can feel an allergic reaction starting. Oh no, I'm shaking. I've got the chills now. Oh my god, I'm vomiting now. What do I do? I have a fever. I don't know what to do anymore. There's only 2 ways to prevent it. The drugs that we listed earlier. And I can't afford that. I could have prevented myself, but I only make $5 a day, and I can't spend it on that. I spend it on food and shelter. What do I do? Let's see if my immune system can fight it off. That's my only hope. This is how the immune system works.